Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kippets. It's me, Mary, and I come here today with a video that was originally released to my members, and I decided that due to the subject matter and due to the fact that this person walks among us, it was important for me to release it to the general public. Now, before I get into this video, I would just like to make a little, sales pitch for my membership. It's only $5.99 a month. You think that I dropped the hottest tea on my public channel for free? You guys should really check out my membership. But that aside, I decided I was going to release this video to the general public because it's important to know that someone like this walks among us. And someone who is so narcissistic that he would be on a sex offender list and still put himself in the public eye, and not only put himself in the public eye as a 90 Day Fiance blogger, he puts himself in the public eye by ripping cast members, fellow content creators, and even fans. It is not a good way to protect your karma because I truly believe whatever you put out will come back to you 100 times worse. It will bite you in the ass, and you are going to be like, ow, motherfucker, stop biting me. That's how I believe karma works. And in this particular case, that's what I believe happened. Karma just came around. This person has bullied, torn apart, made fun of, criticized businesses, called them scams. Okay. Um, and I believe that karma has finally come full circle. So before I get into the video, I just want to let you guys know on a side note regarding the whole Disney thing that I cover in the video. I called Disney World today in Florida and asked them what is their policy regarding sex offenders having a season pass to Disney, Universal, etc. I apologize for the music. A car just came down my block, and I live in New York. Whatever shit happens. So I called Disney to ask them about their policy about sex offenders. And basically, I was told that they do have an internal, um, they have something internally that they do to track, locate, and remove sex offenders from their parks on a daily basis. They cannot release exactly what that method is to the public, obviously, because then the offenders trying to get into the park will be able to, go around these methods. But there are methods put in place, and there are, police officers in the park along with Disney security. So there is a policy against offenders going to Disney, and they do have a system in place. So that's their official statement from when I talked to them earlier. Um, Enjoy the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Very important. Subscribe. Double check that you are subscribed because YouTube likes to play games and they will unsubscribe you without you realizing. And once again, please consider joining my membership. If you enjoy my tea publicly, you are going to love it behind a paywall. Just saying. Thank you so much. Enjoy. Hello, my dear members. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm coming to you today with yet another membership video. I want to thank you guys for being the ear for me and the shoulder for me to lean on in the past couple of months or so. The last couple of membership videos I have uploaded have been basically me venting about the shitheads that I have to deal with while I'm producing content. Well, something interesting happened. My detective skills for Love After Lockup came in handy. And the thing that I found, let me tell you guys, all color drained from my face. And if you're wondering what I'm babbling about, I will get all into it and you will understand, have a clear understanding by the end of this video. So please bear with me. So I was looking for something for Love After Lockup. It's a new season. I'm poking around, trying to dig up tea for my Love After Lockup audience. Got to keep everybody happy. And something very shocking came up. Now, you guys remember this clown? I did a couple of membership videos about him, how he accused me of jacking his tea, which I did no such thing. And then he proceeded to go on a Instagram rant page about me, making fun of my looks, etc., etc. Well, are you the company that you keep? Shithead, shit booty. Asking for myself because it turns out that your BFF, podcast partner, business partner, whatever you want to call him, Lloyd George Massey, has he has a history, a criminal history. And it's quite shocking. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You guys know me. I don't fucking sugarcoat things. So I was looking for a mugshot of a Love After Lockup cast member, and I ran across Lloyd George Massey's mugshot from last year. I mean, guys, this was just from 2024, January 9th, 2024. We're going to get into all this in a moment. Okay. So, George, also known as Kimberly's BFF, seems to have quite a history. And if I was dipshit face, I wouldn't be throwing stones because your podcast buddy, your business partner, your BFF, whatever you want to call him, has a history and it's not so pretty. So, first, let's get into his arrest on January 9th, 2024. Okay, so basically, he was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, domestic battery by strangulation, battery caused bodily harm times two. Then what caught my eye, okay, because once I found the mugshot, I started working my way backwards. If you guys see at the bottom of this document, um, it says staff notes, register sexual offender slash victim requested contact. So when I saw that registered sexual offender, I said, what? So now it turns out this is all public record, you guys. I stumbled across the mugshot and worked my way backwards. That's what a Love After Lockup content creator does. Okay. Since I've started on this channel, I have become quite the fucking detective. It's highly amusing. My husband calls me Matlock. So anyway, then there is this declination of prosecution affidavit. So the victim, who is Brandon Andrew Massey, um, basically declines to go ahead with the prosecution. Now, I may be wrong, but I think Brandon Massey may be Lloyd George Massey's son. I know that George has a son. He is older. Um, so I believe this could be his son. Because usually when there's DV charges and stuff, it's against, an immediate family member, mother, father, brother, sister, wife, children, etc. So, yeah. Then, doing my research, moving backwards some more. And this is where I nearly fell off my fucking chair, you guys. Look at this. Florida Department of Law Enforcement, sexual offender predator flyer. And who is it, you guys? Shabuti's podcast partner, George Mossey. Kimberly's BFF, George Mossey. The one who goes to Disney 3 times a week alone. But we'll get into that in a second. So when I saw this, literally all color drained from my face, and I had to step back and roll like 3 joints, okay? Because then the info, I just kept finding it, and it just kept flowing like a fucking river. Okay, so then first we have back in February 27, 2006, we have him getting arrested for crime description, sex offense, other state, attempted inopportuning. We will get into the definition of that first in a second. And as you can see, he pled guilty to that. Then we have another case, even older than that, November 21st, 2004. Sex offense, other state, public indecency. And then on the bottom, and this, guys, let me tell you, I'm still in shock. I'm still trying to process this. I was looking for a fucking mugshot for Love After Lockup, and this is what I run into, okay? Like, anyway. So we have victim information, male, minor, yes. I'm like, what in the actual fuck? Then we have another case from, give me 1 second, guys. Let me blow this up for you. Okay, so we have another case from 2005. Another attempted inopportuning and public indecency. What in the literal fuck is happening? And this is all in the state of Ohio. These charges. Okay. So, anyway, if you're wondering what attempted inopportuning exactly is, it is attempted inopportuning generally refers to an unsuccessful attempt to solicit a minor, typically under age 13, to engage in sexual activity or sexual conduct. This is a crime that often takes place online or through other telecommunications with law enforcement using sting operations to catch offenders. Key aspects of attempted inopportuning: solicitation, minor's target, online or telecommunications. Penalties for inopportuning. Inopportuning is generally a felony, felony offense, and specific penalties vary state by state and the severity of the offense. Many states have mandatory prison terms for inopportuning, especially if the offender has a history of similar offenses, according to Ohio laws. And like I said, this all happened in the state of Ohio. So now, his court case in connection with all this was very interesting. Okay. So I was reading through like the court details and the highlights. So on the 9th day of September 2005, the defendant, Lloyd Mossey, failing to appear in court as he was bound to do by the conditions of his recognizance. So he was released with no bail and then failed to show up to court. The court orders that the said recognizance taken heretofore in this cause be, and the same is forfeited absolutely. It is further ordered that the clerk shall forthwith give as provided by law, the surety of record, or the defendant, if the defendant was released on personal bond, notice to appear in this court on or before the 9th day of October. Okay, so basically, they had a warrant out for his arrest, and on September 16th of 2005, he was in custody. So then, to make a long story short, okay, I'm going to give it a cliff notes of this for you guys. Um, he pleaded guilty to attempted inopportuning and guilty to public indecency. He previously pleaded not guilty, but because he decided not to show up in court for whatever reason, he decided, it might be a really good idea to take a guilty plea. Now, the cliff notes of this basically says that he was given a 6-month suspended sentence and 6 months of probation. Now, this is where I found it very interesting. Okay, so it says here, this court finds that the defendant is not likely to engage in one or more sexually oriented offenses in the future. It is hereby ordered and adjudged that the defendant is not a sexual predator for the following reasons. Both sides stipulate to sexual oriented offender. This determination is a final appealable order. The court further finds the defendant is not a habitual sex offender. This court certifies that the defendant was provided the notice of registration duties and his classification as a sexually oriented offender, and that an explanation of the registration, notification, and verification requirements was provided to the defendant. It is so ordered. So basically, I guess there are two types or several types of sex offenders, and it could be a habitual offender or a sexually oriented offender, which George has been labeled by the court. So I just want to say, having this knowledge of him, I mean, I always thought, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't sugarcoat shit. I always thought it was weird seeing pictures of him at Disney. Okay, some of you guys would send me his stories, like this one, how excited he is to get a season pass. I mean, he went to Disney with Danielle. He's hanging out with Elmo. The guy is at Disney at least 3 times a week, okay? And he goes there by himself. Something in my gut told me it was something weird about a grown ass man that went to Disney 3 times a week, and especially so excited that he's shaking that he got a season pass. Something in my gut. I don't know. I was like, Now I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? So I have a serious question. What is Disney's policies about allowing a sex offender on the sex offender list to buy a season pass? Do they know? Do they require, you sign something that you're not on the offender list? Like, I have so many questions about this because my feeling went from weird to really, really fucking concerned. And I think I have good reason to be, considering the shit that I stumbled across. Just saying. Okay. You guys let me know if I am overreacting and freaking out for no reason. Now, George and I, we also have history. Not as bad as dipshit face and I do, because his partner, dipshit head, I'm sorry, doesn't like women and likes to pick on women. So he thought that he was going to pick on me. And you guys know that I'm not one to back down from a fucking fight. But George, in the beginning, he did it differently. He approached me in a nice way. These are messages between George and I back in 2022 when I first started this whole thing, when my former partner and I first started off on YouTube, and I was figuring out the ways of the land, and I decided I wanted to do cast interviews. And in the beginning, We did a lot of cast interviews. We interviewed Molly, we interviewed David and Annie, Armando and Kenny. Um, we interviewed Uncle Bo. That was my favorite interview, Mike, Big Mike's Uncle Bo. So, we had a real good start with interviews in the beginning before TLC was sold to Warner Brothers. But that's a whole nother story for another video, because in the beginning, TLC was still under the Discovery Plus umbrella. Then it was sold to Warner Brothers, and everything changed once it was sold to Warner Brothers. But that's a whole nother story. So George slid into my DMs, as you guys can see, back in April of 2022, basically asking me, how do I go about doing things? He wants to start doing interviews. How do I do them? Do I pay for them? Do I submit proposals? What do I do? And I tell him no, I simply slide into DMs and ask them if they want to interview. And there you go. So now, George, also known as Lloyd, is on the approved list to interview TLC cast members, while yours truly isn't. And I have a feeling that has a lot to do with his bestie, Kimberly, and that's okay. Because you know something? I'm not one of those ass licking channels that's going to ask all the right questions. I'm going to ask the questions that you guys want to hear. So I won't get TLC interviews while the cast members are in contract. But anyway, it doesn't really matter because you guys know I still provide the hottest tea. So I just want to ask, do birds of a feather flock together? Are you truly the company that you keep? Because Kim loves George. Where is my bestie? I need my bestie. Happy birthday, bestie. Oh, we're besties. Besties are hanging out. Does Kim know about his dark past and just accept him as her bestie? I don't know, guys. All I know is I'm still processing this. And I still want to know, do birds of a feather flock together? Because I know dipshit head is a fucking clown. Now I know George has a dark past. And Kim, I don't know. Where do you fall in with all this? Asking for myself. So before I close out, I just want to say I absolutely love it when my love after lockup skills come in handy for 90 Day Fiance. Thank you so much, guys, for watching me. Thank you, all my members, for subscribing to me every month and basically giving me your money every month and supporting my channel. I am greatly, greatly appreciative of all of you guys. And look out for some exclusive tea coming your way soon. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Breaking news: George Mossey has responded. I will include screenshots from his Instagram story where he puts a spin on this so hard that you may need to take Dramamine after reading all of it. My head is personally spinning. I don't understand how anyone could put a spin on this, but he managed to. All I have to say is court documents do not lie. Everything is public. Everything could be easily looked up. Okay. And do the math. That's all I have to say. He claims that he was a certain age. Do the math. It's really easy. It's like elementary school math. Just saying. So I'm going to include these screenshots. In all fairness, I want to include his side. And you guys let me know what you think about the spin. Did you have to take some Dramamine after reading it? Thank you so much, everyone, for watching me. And thank you all for your undying support. Please consider joining my membership. Like, subscribe, and share with a friend or 10. Bye, everybody.